And so, I really don't know how I want to start off tonight, because this is marking the end of a legacy, as it were, because just like with how Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn brought things to an end over the span of 8 years as far as telling the story from the Warrior of Light's origins in Eorzea to going into Ishgard, to going to Alamigo and Doma, to going to the First, and then coming here to Razathan, and Garlemald, and to the Moon, and to Ultima Thule. The Warrior of Light has done a lot in 8 years of telling the story, but of course, a new story is just 2 months away as the new expansion begins on July 2nd, with Dawn Trail taking up a brand new adventure for the Warrior of Light. And that means we have to bring things to a close over here. And so, tonight here, under the stars of Razathan, with Mr. Varshan and some other interesting people alongside me, along with Ashdaya, who's of course been reborn. Yeah, now happily flying alongside her now big brother Vitra. But yeah, and of course joining us for the last leg of the journey is Azim herself, Miss Bana, as the minion. But tonight it is well and truly the end of not just this journey, but also my own as far as Final Fantasy XIV is concerned, because this will bring not just Endwalker to a close, but this will also end my journey of Let's Playing this game for the cycle that I've been doing, and whether or not I actually will continue on streaming Final Fantasy XIV remains to be seen, and I really don't know if I'll ever be able to again, given the current especially given the current circumstances in my life. But I just want to be able to say on this last night that I want to be able to thank each and every one of you who has ever watched me over the course of my time since I did my first Let's Play of A Realm Reborn back in March of 2014. This is how long I've been playing, more than 10 years of playing this game, and so this is where it all ends tonight. And so, knowing that it is that way, I'm just ready to begin on this journey, and with these three alongside me, that will begin tonight as we bring this journey to a close at long last. But before we can even do that, we have one more new wrinkle to add into the story of Endwalker. It takes place here in Razathan, and that is what we will look at before we move on to the main event and the grand finale. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthias Griffin back with you for the continuation and the conclusion of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. So, what do you say we get on our way? So, for Varshan and Ashdaya, we will get back to you soon. For now though, we have a new quest that we have to take a look at. And going into this evening, I wanted to make sure that I covered all my bases, and so fortunately I found this. Now, I've only just skimmed the surface of this particular quest from this Radiant Scout, and I really don't know much of what's going to happen beyond that. I do have a partial inkling, but not enough to really see what exactly we're going to be having a look at tonight. So, let's see what's in store for us. Let's go ahead and speak with this Radiant Scout to take on the level 90 bonus quest here in the epilogue of Endwalker, entitled Shadowed Pasts. Something has this Radiant Scout unnerved.
Ah, Mistress Rika, you couldn't have appeared at a better time. You see, while out patrolling the city, I chanced to see sight of Void Scent.
Oh, did you? Uh-oh. Yeah, it seems like we're not done with them yet.
I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there, jiggling, which is why, against my better judgment, I decided to capture it instead. Put in the cage and all that. Having traveled to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge of its denizens. If you have a moment, might I trouble you for your opinion on the creature's unusual behavior? I believe I can help you out. I am truly grateful. Now, if you would follow me, the creature is being held in the Hall of the Radiant Host.
Alright, and we will see you there. Yeah, this of course was where we had the briefing room where we spoke with the representatives from the various nations of the Eorzean Alliance, as well as Ishgard and Alamigo, and Doma as well, to help them with their situations with those horrible monsters that were storming Razat Han not that long ago. Yeah, those were some very scary things, so let's go ahead and speak with this Radiant Scout and a sullen-eyed Void Sense. Here it is. Yeah, this thing's rather small. It looks like a Mono-Eye from Kid Icarus without the ability to fly. Surprisingly docile, even when I captured it, and there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Even so, it's the nature of Void Sense to prey on people for their ether. Perhaps it bides its time, waiting to carry out some manner of scheme.
You! I remember you! Yes, you were a Troya! Please, you must help me!
Wait, what? Troya? What do you need help with? Or yeah, you were at the castle? Yeah, I don't recognize you.
Indeed I was, but I've since fled here. I understand the mortal tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore. You can help me. Yes, you can!
Is that so? Yeah, let me explain to this guy who doesn't understand what he's saying.
You can converse with the Void Sense? Amazing! Could you ask why it came here?
I believe so. Yeah, how did you get here? And what exactly do I call you?
When you and yours stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died.
Oh.
In time I returned, but I tired of fighting. So I fled, using the gate to your world.
Yeah, and you're so small you could easily not be detected by the Radiant Host.
Having just been reborn, however, my essence hadn't fully bound together yet, and so, when I emerged from the gate, it was as several sundered selves.
What? That's creepy.
Frightened and confused, they scattered. Following just their trail led me here, my diminutive size allowing me to remain largely unseen. But by the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless. That's why we consumed one another in the first place.
Ugh. Yeah, I remember how the Void Scent liked to be cannibalistic like that.
Together we were strong. I want you to help find all of me, so that I can be whole again.
And not eat each other again? So yeah, you intend to strike a bargain? Or what do you tend to do in this world? Because, yeah, I imagine consuming ether will be essential to your survival.
Why, live here, of course. I've always wanted to.
But where would you live, though? The closest place I could think of that you would possibly consider a home would be Zamel Darkhold.
We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. We long to have that life again, but we need your help. Starting by reuniting us, we won't try to devour anyone, even when we're whole, I swear. You wish to learn more about the Void, yes? There is much we can teach you about those who rule its domains, about their past. Find the others, and they'll tell you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain?
It looks like we do. Yeah, let me explain to the guard here.
So he crossed over to our world to escape conflict and now searches for the rest of itself. I understand Void Scent are quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact, and I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our research into their world. Yeah, you'll probably need to see if this is okay with your superiors, though. Very well. If you would be so kind as to search for its skin, I will consult my superiors on how best to deal with them. Alright, leave it to me.
By that, I take it we have a bargain. Good, good. I sense 4 others close by. When you find them, you need only point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, I can guide them the rest of the way.
Alright. Yeah, let's go looking, and it turns out for our first Wayward Hecti, we don't have to look all that far. And it seems not that far from the 8th, right? In fact, right here. So this is as far as I got as far as the initial assessment of this quest. So,
What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about powerful void scents? I was still wanting to see this and that, but I suppose a deal is a deal.
yes, it is. And so, tell me about yourself. Or the situation that you find yourself in.
Those men over there. Soldiers, are they not? We used to have soldiers in our world too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria.
Oh, back from Weaver's reading, are you? I hear you fought well against the Void Scent that slipped through. Come now, I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation, no matter the cost?
Indeed they have. In their fancy dragon armor.
Protect our nation. How familiar are those words? Where was it that I heard them?
Yeah, perhaps you can enlighten me.
Ah, yes. It was the early days of the Contra Memoria. The enemy had conjured a terrible eidolon that laid siege to a fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities, but by their valiant commander, they fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Memoriat arrived, and the commander told them, needed to hold out no matter the cost. A Memoriat did eventually arrive, but not soon enough for the soldiers.
Well, that's not good. And so what's about to happen here? Well, it's not quite the Echo.
Having struck down the Eidolon, the Memoriat and his servants searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead.
Oh, rustling.
But just when they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away debris.
And they found this, a Mikote apparently.
To find a lone survivor, the garrison commander. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger.
But someone survived, right? Oh, this part is live action.
Your soldiers are slaughtered to a man, yet there's barely a scratch on you. What is the meaning of this?
Yeah, explain yourself, Mr. Mikote. The Eidolon was savage but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath fallen debris.
Hide! As commander, you had a duty to your men! You were supposed to put their lives before your own!
Didn't he do that? He is the commander.
Spare me! My duty was to ensure the fortress stood, and it did. Besides, my death would have achieved nothing, honor be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that I must live. It isn't my fate to fall here. It isn't your fate, you say?
It's like, yeah, okay, I'll make it your fate, and boy did he ever. Yeah, it is his fate to fall here. Without even a second thought. No one gets to live. Is he... Merely unconscious. Come, let us bury the soldiers, and their commander with them. You're gonna bury him alive? Not just leave him for dead and feed him to the vultures or something? Fate shall decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. So they just bury him alive. Very well, my lord. And so, go ahead and do your dirty deeds. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, he's pulling a Hildebrand here.
Funeral rites were held later for the fallen, but solemn tears quickly gave way to horrified screams as a body emerged from the earth. The commander!
So yeah, now he needs to find the zombie-fied gentleman.
I can't die. I must live, the man is said to have declared. The people thought him a demon, a disheveled horror, muttering curses as he wandered off to regions unknown. Scarmillion, they called him.
Oh wow. This is Scarmillion? So Scarmillion's origin is Azumikote. Alright.
A name befitting his newfound grisly visage. A name befitting a monster.
Yeah, and they didn't bother to finish him off right then and there. They was just like, okay, you emerged, so you can leave now. Yeah, it just realized we're going to be seeing the origin story of the Four Lords within the context of Final Fantasy XIV.
We thought we had buried him deep, but a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're a mortal, so I expect you understand that desire. Well, that concludes my tale. I had best rejoin myself, if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the only way he can get around. Alright, so we also have one at the Mahane. We have one in the Kama Residential District. And we have one near the airship landing. Alright, let's go find this remainder of this quartet. Let's begin the process by going over to the Mahane. So, when we arrive, let's open the doors. And so, yeah, this Hektai is choosing to enjoy the show.
So this is where mortals consume ether.
Oh, and that too. Yeah, I hope you enjoy Zero's curry.
Dreading loneliness more than hunger. How very like me. If you don't mind though, I'd like to observe the mortals a while longer.
Alright. Maybe you can explain how this scene pertains to your presence here?
The food here is simply sublime. Why, I feel stronger with every bite, as if the Mergar themselves were granting me their blessing. The food is tasty, that's true enough, but no food is so sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend.
Stronger with every bite, every feed. For my part of the bargain, I will tell you about how we Void Scent become strong. Simply put, it depends upon the quality and quantity of ether we harbor. When the world was consumed by darkness, the heroes known as Memoriats arose as powerful Void Scent.
Yeah, something we know all too well.
In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary Void Scent, like me. There were exceptions, of course, but one in particular I'll never forget.
And who would you be alluding to? Yeah, we now know Scarmillion's origin. Which origin story will you tell me about next? An event happening in a ravine and a raging river.
Scarmillion, never had I seen a void sense so craven. Even when pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey only on those weaker than himself. He subsisted on scant leavings and lived in constant fear and hunger.
Oh, we're just gonna focus on Scarmillion with this quartet?
In the face of danger, a void sense stronger than himself, fleeing was the only option. But a day came when he found his way barred.
Which brings us to here. So the transformed Scarmillion, this poor little Mikote, how pitiful. Knight in Black, are we talking about Golbez? Oh, yes we are. Hi, Golbez.
Such overwhelming ether. Who is this? You fled instead of facing your foe. Why? Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured. So you had enough strength. You would have stood your ground. Very well then.
Yeah, ask and you shall receive. Here, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
What's happening?
Yes, I feel it. The power swelling within me. Lo, your foe returns.
Right here. And so now that you got your second win, easy pickings. How's that?
What have you done to me? I granted you but a sliver of ether. 'Twas with the power you already possessed that you defeated your foe.
I possess such power.
Fear had clouded your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself then from fear, then join me. You shall have a greater cause to live for and know true power.
Yeah, let's make a pact. With those bloodshot red eyes of yours.
Oh, curious how, in a world without death, the fear of it could be the key to great strength. The knight recognized this, recognized the Void Sense potential, and thus did he take him into his service. Oh, hey AC, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us.
And so,
determined as he is to live, it wouldn't surprise me if he was still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now, I expect, from all the devouring he would have done since. Unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger in ours. Well, I must be going now. The others are waiting.
yeah, not much more to see here. But yeah, AC, it's been too long. How have you been? Yeah, and thanks for coming to show your support tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button. This is the last stream, so I could use the likes. So, yeah, this wayward Hectai hiding behind a tree, or under one more specifically.
My other self grows lonely, you say? My apologies. It was my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness, but that has been some colorful language.
Well, we're all in that situation there, AC.
To hell with your father! You shouldn't need his permission to just leave the goddamn house! Please, mind your language! What would father say if he were to hear you? Oh, it's always father this and father that with you! I'm sick of it! You're your own woman now! Bloody act like one for a change!
Yikes.
Colorful language, yes? Not from the girl, though. Oh no, she appears to be quite well bred.
Unlike her suitor, it seems.
I just hope she's happier than a girl I knew long, long ago.
Yeah, I think I have an idea who you're talking about. And so, oh, we have a pair of Ellison. Or one Hure and one Ellison.
That girl was born into a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noblewoman and had servants tending to her every need. But in the end, she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage. Wanting to be a proper lady, her parents presided over all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to say and do.
And you were her servant or something? Yeah, and there's the angry father.
Chafing from the fetters of her restrictive life, she solicited her handmaiden's aid and stole outside the manor, where she enjoyed a moment of bliss unbeknownst to her parents. Or so she thought.
Yeah, as we can clearly see.
It was not long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and windows, denying her even the simple pleasure of an afternoon breeze. Even a bear in a cage may chirp freely, but she wasn't even suffered to give voice to her desires. But she wouldn't be deterred. Having once tasted sweet freedom, she yearned for more, and one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time.
Yeah, on a stormy night. In a house not unlike something we would see located in Girabanya during White Mage quests.
You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come.
If you're expecting your friends, I'm afraid they're not coming. Womp womp. Yeah, and apparently she's not even allowed to have friends.
Father, how did you... What do you mean they're not coming?
I had known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, but to think that they dare try to consort with my daughter. Well, you needn't worry about them anymore. They're food for the fishes now. Oh my god. It's not enough to just shoo them away, you had to kill them?
How could you do this, Father? Why must you torment me so?
Know your place, girl. You are a means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you sullying yourself with riffraff. Final straw. Yeah, look what's in the background. I see a hatchet. You will not leave your chambers save with my permission, nor will you disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? I said, am I understood? Oh, well, I think there's something new you understand.
To hell.
What did you say? You should probably be paying attention to what's in her hand. Yeah.
I said, go to hell!
Yeah. And so, she murders him in a way similar to what Ellie did in The Last of Us. Yeah, just hack him to pieces with a hatchet. Yeah, take that, David. Yeah, once the rain had subsided, she was her own woman.
Oh, to think that it could be so exhilarating to speak my mind, to do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I am free. Free as the wind.
The young woman struck out on her own, and in her travels discovered her true calling, not in the hall of lords and ladies, but on the battlefield. She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty which belied a terrible savagery.
No kidding.
And with this new life, she also claimed a new name, Barbaricia.
And see, apparently Barbaricia was an Elizan, but she had very small ears for an Elizan.
Indeed, she found her freedom. But did she also find happiness, I wonder? I suppose I'll never know, nor does it matter, for the world that once was is no more. Oh, but goodness me, I had better rejoin the others.
Or are you referring to the movie So I Married an Axe Murderer with Mike Myers? Is that what you're referring to, AC? Yeah, I've never seen that movie, but I remember the title of it very well. It's supposed to be a comedy of all things. But of course, Mike Myers being a comedian and all that, that would fall right into his lap. And definitely be in his wheelhouse. And so we find our final wayward Hektai hiding over here amongst the crates at the airship landing.
Ah, what a refreshing breeze.
Well, we found the rest of your friends.
I'm to return to the others? Ah, they should come here.
And you're kind of enjoying the beautiful winds and the beautiful views.
Would you look at this beautiful boundless sky? Mortals take to the air from here, do they not? Would that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself.
Yeah, F around and find out. One of the new popular slang terms these days.
But we void sent our wont to roam, you see. The mightiest among us carve out domains, while the rest labor to stay in their good graces. Now the master of a domain seldom ventures outside, for it is in one's territory that one is strongest. For some, however, such confinement proved trying, as was the case for a certain void sent I knew.
And so we're learning more about Barbaricia, or moving on to someone else? Because yeah, Cagnazzo and Rubicante are still on the board.
I speak...
Yeah, gonna continue on about Barbaricia.
I speak of the free-spirited terror Barbaricia. When she first established her domain, she whiled away the days waiting for her minions to bring her prey.
But they thinned out in number.
The ether amassed from these offerings was devoted to the singular pleasure of caring for her silky flowing locks, but the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realized she was a prisoner in her own domain, and unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away, alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen into the depths of despair when the hand of salvation came to pull her out.
And she definitely looked a lot different than what we would know her as.
At this rate, my precious hair will frazzle and fray. Had I only the strength to leave my domain.
If strength is your desire, that is easily granted. And so, share a little.
Who are you?
You know, all of a sudden,
So much power surging through me.
and what will you do with it? What is it that you desire?
What I desire is...
So let it all out. Be her own Garuda. You would move your very domain. Impressive.
That I can do such a thing? What have you done to me?
I granted you ether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible.
My will?
That's right. Even so, no matter where you should go, there is not but darkness. What could your destination possibly be? Yeah, what would it be?
Destination? I have no need of such. I wish to be bold, but to be free like the wind. In a world that had met its end, rare indeed is the soul who desires freedom so ardently that she could will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight will grant her more power and a place of command in his mighty army. A story worthy of a bargain, I trust. I might have had more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. You fell off? It seems you mortals also have a fondness for flying. I'd certainly like to try riding one of these airships of yours. But perhaps another time. My other selves will be a blubbering mess if I don't hurry and rejoin them.
Yeah, you better get going. You have found the last of the Void Scent. Time to head back to the Hall of the Radiant Hosts. So obviously, this is not finished. We will get the origin stories for Rubicante and Cagnazzo. Or we get them right away, though. This really makes me think of the origin stories for the various Warriors of Light from Shadowbringers. And having to do the Cardinal Virtue challenges with them. So, all 5 of the eyes are back. Let's see what happens.
Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreements.
Yeah, more than worthy, I'd say. They told me it was Scarmelion and Barbaricia, but yeah, how did you come to know about them?
My other selves lived quite disparate lives, both as mortals and void-sent, though I suppose it is rather fortuitous that they crossed paths with such powerful void-scents. But more importantly, what they could offer was worthy of a bargain. For that, I am glad.
Well, I'm glad we could help.
All that remains now is for us to rejoin and become whole again.
And so, all together now?
Huh? Is this not all of me?
Yeah, I had a feeling there would be more. Because we have to learn more about the other lords.
There can be no other explanation. There is still more of me lost out there somewhere. But I don't sense them. Where could they have gone?
Yeah, who knows where they could be.
You mean there's more of them wandering about? By the sisters! At the very least, if what you say is true, they pose no threat to the people. Until the others can be found, we will keep these 5 under our care.
Alright.
Should I sense the others nearby, I hope we can count on you to find them too.
Well, hopefully we won't have to wait too long for that, so for completing this quest we'll accept 1,734 gil.